Hello guys, welcome back to my video channel. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Salma Fitriani with student number 12350300207 from class 3F English Literature State Islamic University of Sunan Gunung Jati Bandung. So guys, here I want to present to you my translation analysis. And this is actually one of the individual assignment of Translation English Indonesian course, whom the lecturers are Mr. Andang Sehu and Mrs. Faurus Husnatul Abkoria. So in this assignment, I have to find a text which will be translated with some method or technique of translation. So just check it out! Before we go to the analysis, I want to tell you a little bit about the story. So, this story I chose from the novel titled The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain, and I took the paragraph from the first chapter of the story, and the paragraphs tell us about how Huckleberry Finn, as the main character of the story, tried to run away from his house, but someone catch him and took him back to the house of the lady, and the lady who is always mentioned here is called as the widow. And she always took care of him and wanted to discipline him, but Huckleberry didn't feel comfortable with her, and he preferred to live in freedom life instead of stricted one. So that's about the story. And in this assignment, I use variety of methods and techniques of translation, such as for methods, literal, communicative, and contextual translation. And for techniques, I use reduction, expansion, and idiomatic translation. Well, when I was in translating process, I took some steps. Firstly, I needed to find a text that will be translated, and then after that, I read it the whole paragraph repeatedly until I understand the text. After that, I translated it sentence by sentence. And in this translation process, sometimes I use translation tools such as DeepL and Google Translate to help me in this translation process. And here it is, the result of my translation analysis. So here it is, the source text is from English and I translated it into Indonesian, and I will tell you how I translate this text. Okay, for the first is literal translation. I use literal translation for the sentence that is simple, or it just consists of subject and predicate. Like in the first sentence, the widow, she cried over me and called me a poor lost lamb, and she called me a lot of other names too, but she never meant no harm by it. Nyonya janda itu menangisiku dan menyebutku sebagai domba hilang yang malang, serta berbagai sebutan lainnya, tetapi dia tidak bermaksud jelek. So, I use literal translation for this sentence, and it make a literal meaning, but I combine it with reduction translation, which I remove some words from here. Like in the first clause, I removed the word she because there's already the widow, and then in the third clause, I removed she called me. So it becomes serta berbagai sebutan lainnya, not, dan dia memanggilku dengan sebutan lainnya juga. So the next one is in the third sentence. Well then, the old thing commenced again. This is a simple sentence, but I use literal translation because in the old thing, I translate it into hal-hal yang dulu, not dulu hal-hal. So this is using literal translation. Well then, the old thing commenced again. Nah, kemudian hal-hal yang dulu dimulai kembali. And it's a simple sentence too. And then the next one is in the fourth sentence. The widow rang a bell for supper. Nyonya janda itu membunyikan lonceng untuk makan malam. This is so simple too, but this is actually the first clause in the first sentence. Okay, so the next one is communicative translation. I use communicative translation to make the text is understandable and target audience can understand the text. The example is in the second sentence like this. She put me in the new clothes again and I couldn't do nothing but sweat and feel all cramped up. And I translate it into, dia menyuruhku untuk memakai pakaian-pakaian baruku lagi dan aku tidak bisa melakukan apapun selain berkeringat dan semuanya terasa sesak. So, by using this communicative translation, the target audience can understand the text and the situation that exists in the text. But if we translate it into Indonesian by using literal translation, the meaning could be like, dia memakaikanku pakaian-pakaian baruku lagi dan aku tidak bisa melakukan apapun tapi berkeringat dan semuanya terasa kaku. So it's ambiguous. So I use communicative translation to make the text understandable. And then in this sentence, I combined it with reduction translation again. In the repetition of sweet and sweet, I remove one of them. So it's not selain berkeringat dan berkeringat, but I translated it into selain berkeringat. Okay, and then the next one is in the fourth sentence. So beside of using the literal translation, I also use communicative translation for the second clause, and you have to time to time. If we translate it into Indonesian by using literal translation, it could be like, dan kamu harus datang tepat waktu. So if we want to make it understandable, we use communicative translation. So it becomes, dan kamu harus segera datang. It can make the text more understandable. And then the next one is, when you got to the table, you couldn't go right to eating, but you had to wait for the widow to tuck down her head and grumble a little over the victuals, though there weren't really anything the matter with them. Sesampainya di meja makan, kamu tidak bisa langsung makan, tetapi harus menunggu dulu sampai nyonya janda itu selesai menundukkan kepalanya untuk berdoa dan bergumam pelan. Meskipun sebenarnya tidak ada yang salah dengan makanannya. I use communicative translation in the sentence to make the text understandable so that the target audience can understand the text. But because if I translate it into Indonesian by using literal translation, the text will not be understandable. Like this, if we translate it by using literal translation, the meaning would be like this. Ketika kamu datang ke meja, kamu tidak bisa langsung makan, tapi kamu harus menunggu untuk nyonya janda itu menundukkan kepalanya dan menggerutu sedikit atas makanannya, walaupun sebenarnya tidak ada masalah dengan mereka. So I use communicative translation. And then in this sentence, I also combined it with expansion translation. In this, to tuck down her head, I add untuk berdoa after menundukkan kepalanya. So it means that I combine it with expansion translation and also contextual translation, because the context here is the widow praying before eating. So it same like the habit in Indonesia where people pray before eating. And then the next one is in the sixth sentence. That is, nothing, only everything was cooked by itself. Maksudnya tak mengapa, hanya saja semuanya berjalan dengan sendirinya. So I use communicative translation and change the meaning of cook to be berjalan and not dimasak. Okay, the next one or the last one is contextual translation in the last sentence. In a barrel of oats and ants it is different, things get mixed up and the juice kind of swims around and the things go better. Dalam kehidupan yang beragam, di mana semuanya tercampur aduk dan sari-sari kehidupan bersatu padu, itu lebih baik daripada kehidupan yang terstruktur. So, beside of using contextual translation, I also use expansion and idiomatic translation for this sentence, because the context here that Huckleberry didn't feel comfortable with the lady, with the life of him with the lady. He preferred to live in freedom life, like I've said before. So, and I use idiomatic translation because there is a metaphor in a barrel of oats is a metaphor. So I've tried to find an equivalent phrase for this phrase. And then I add daripada kehidupan yang terstruktur in the last clause. And the things go better, I add daripada kehidupan yang terstruktur to make it clear and more understandable. So that's it about the contextual translation, expansion, and idiomatic translation for the last sentence. Overall, this translation succeeds in transferring the meaning from the source text clearly, even though there are some parts that are maybe out of context, but I've tried to maintain the meaning between both of languages. So, by using those methods and techniques such as communicative, contextual, literal, reducing, and expansion translation, and also idiomatic translation, I hope this text can be understood and acceptable by the target language. So, that's all from me. I'm sorry for all my mistake. I'm Salma Fidayani. See you in the next video.